Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're focusing on something that's honestly incredibly empowering. Module 2, Parts of Speech. You can think of these parts of speech as literally the essential building blocks of English grammar. I mean, if you want to communicate clearly, confidently, and just beautifully, you absolutely need to know exactly how these blocks fit together. Let's get right into it.
So, to make this super easy to digest, we've broken all 8 parts of speech down into 4 logical groupings. First up, naming people and things. Then, actions and their descriptions. Third, building relationships and connections. And finally, expressing sudden emotions. We'll get through all of this together without anyone feeling overwhelmed. All right, starting right off with grouping number 1, naming people and things, which covers our nouns and pronouns.
Okay, let's dive into this first building block, the noun. A noun basically names a person, a place, an animal, a thing, or even an idea. These are the fundamental labels we slap onto the world around us, right? They're the essential actors and objects that make up all of our everyday sentences. So whether it's a teacher, leading a class, the book you're reading, the school you attend, a massive city like London, or just the computer you're using to watch this explainer right now, yep, those are all nouns.
But here's the thing. If we actually had to use those specific names every single time we spoke, oh my gosh, communication would get so incredibly clunky and repetitive. And that is exactly where the pronoun comes in to save the day. Their entire job is just to step in and replace those nouns. They act like these clever little tools to avoid that awkward repetition and make our sentences flow, way smoother.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the swap works in practice. Look at this microstory. If we kept saying, Sarah is reading a book, Sarah turned the page, Sarah loves the story, it just sounds completely unnatural, doesn't it? But swapping the noun Sarah for the pronoun she instantly gives us she is reading a book. It's such a simple, elegant little swap, but it immediately makes the sentence sound totally natural and conversational.
Moving right along to part 2, actions and their descriptions. This is where we breathe life into things with verbs, adjectives, and adverbs.
So we've got our characters and our objects, but right now they're just kind of sitting there doing nothing. The actual engine of any sentence? That's the verb. Verbs show actions or states of being. This is where the real energy happens. Think of it like animated characters suddenly springing to life. They're running, eating, writing, dancing, reading, speaking, and smiling. All of those dynamic, energetic words are your verbs. Basically, if a noun is the what of a sentence, the verb is absolutely the what is happening.
Now, we can take those basic nouns we talked about and completely change how we visualize them just by using adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns and they add all this vivid color and specific detail. So it's not just a car, it's a red car. Not just a building, it's a tall building. Suddenly we can picture a beautiful garden or a happy child. Adjectives are what paint that highly specific picture right inside the listener's mind.
Okay, so while adjectives give all those great details to nouns, adverbs give detail to the action itself. The rule here is that adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, or even other adverbs. Think about it this way. If verbs tell us what's happening, adverbs swoop in to tell us exactly how, when, or where that action is being pulled off.
Let's look at a few dynamic microstories to really see this in action. Picture a runner out on a track. They aren't just moving, they are moving quickly. Or imagine a student giving a huge presentation to the whole class. They are speaking confidently. Look up at a bird in the sky. It is flying gracefully. Words like quickly, confidently, gracefully, and even words like carefully and always, they modify the action. They give us the critical context we absolutely need to fully understand the scene.
Let's move to and see how this builds as we look at part 3, building relationships and connections, focusing on prepositions and conjunctions. So we've got our nouns, our actions, and our descriptions. Now we actually need to know how to link these individual ideas and phrases together to form more complex thoughts. First up for connections, we have prepositions. Prepositions show relationships of place, direction, and time. They act as little visual indicators in our language, telling us where things are physically located in relation to one another. Think of a cat hiding under the table, a ball sitting on the chair, a bag beside a desk, or a bird hovering above a tree. Under, on, beside, above. These prepositions literally map out the physical 3D space of our sentences. Now, our other major connectors are conjunctions. Conjunctions connect words, phrases, and entire sentences. If you think of your different ideas as a bunch of separate puzzle pieces, conjunctions are those interlocking edges. They are the exact pieces that allow you to snap two completely separate ideas together into one cohesive, beautiful thought.
So the crucial point is knowing exactly which puzzle pieces to use. These specific connecting words like and, but, because, or are incredibly powerful tools. They let you just seamlessly add information with and, show a contrast with but, explain the reason for something with because, or offer a choice with or. They're literally the glue that holds all of our complex logic together.
Which brings us to part 4, expressing sudden emotions through interjections. But wait. How do we inject raw, sudden, human emotion into all this structured grammar we've just learned?
Well, up until now, everything has been very structured, very logical, right? But human communication isn't just about logic, is it? Not at all. So here's our final building block, the interjection. Interjections express sudden emotions or feelings. And the fun part is they don't necessarily follow strict grammatical rules like the other parts of speech we've been discussing. Instead, they just completely stand out. They are this amazing burst of raw feeling that interrupts the sentence just to tell the listener exactly how you're feeling in that exact split second.
Wow! Oops! Hooray! Oh no! Excellent! Seriously, these words just throw the rulebook out the window. They bring immense joy, surprise, and huge expression to our language. It's the comic book speech bubble stuff. They are exactly what make English so vibrant and, well, completely human.
All right, part 5, mastering the building blocks, putting it all together. Let's celebrate how far we've come.
When you actually take a step back and look at how all these functional groups stack together, the whole logic of English grammar becomes perfectly clear. First, we have naming with our nouns and pronouns. Second, we inject action and detail using verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Third, we do our connecting with prepositions and conjunctions. And finally, number 4, we layer on that fantastic emotion with interjections. Together, they stack up perfectly to form a complete, masterful system for communication. How cool is that?
So, huge congratulations on cementing this foundation today. You now have a really solid grasp on these 8 essential elements, which means you are truly ready to master complex English grammar. Keep practicing with these pieces, for sure, because our next module is coming soon and it will build directly on this exact foundation.
I want to leave you with this one thought to carry with you as you go about your day. Language is entirely what you make of it. It's your tool. So now that you actually have the building blocks in your hands, what amazing sentences will you construct today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep constructing, and I will absolutely see you next time.